All right, this is the answer key, the study guide, and this is the first side. So find the area of each figure, and it says hint, use A equals LW. That means area equals length times width. So when I'm looking to find the area, I want to multiply the length and the width. So 9.5, 4 1/10. So your first line should have a 9 and a 5. Don't forget to leave that 0 or a space. Your second line would be 3800. 9. And we move the decimal 1, 2 times because there are 2 numbers after each decimal. So the area for this one is 38 and 95 hundredths. And that would make sense. This could be rounded to about 10. That would be about 4, and 10 times 4 is 40, and 38 95 hundredths is very close to 40. The same thing over here. I put the number with the most digits on the top. It makes it a little bit easier. And as long as you have to multiply. You don't need to worry about adding a decimal or lining it up. And then I move the decimal only 1 time. Again, that would make sense. That's 6. That is about 5. 6 times 5 is 30. And 31 and 2/10 is really close to 30. Okay, David bought 26 boxes of crayons for $38.48. How much did he pay for each box of crayons? That tells us it's a division problem, that word each. And because I'm looking for a cost, we know that cost is only 2 numbers after the decimal in cents. So if you get like a weird repeating number, you are doing something wrong. $38.48 would go on the inside because that's our total. 26 goes into 38 once. Don't forget to bring out that decimal. I don't know how many times 26 goes into 124. Put it out to the side, multiply. 104, that's probably as close as I can get. So I'll put a 4. Bring down my last number. 26 into 208. Let's try times 8 because I know that 6 times 8 is 48. And that equals exactly 208. So my answer for that one is $1.48 per box. Find the product of 6 3/10 and 7 7/10. And that's just a straight multiplication problem. Make sure that you slowed down and checked each line. 4851, and we're going to be moving the decimal 2 times. 1, 2, 48 and 51 hundredths. And again, that would make sense. That rounds to about 8, that rounds to about 6. 6 times 8 is 48, and that's very close. All right, find the product of 11 2/10 and 3 95 hundredths. They have the same number of digits. You don't have to add any zeros here. 3, okay. 5, 6. Don't forget, when that third number comes around, you're adding 2 zeros. Okay, 4, 4, 2, 4, 0 are my numbers. And it looks like I'm moving it 1, 2, 3 spaces. So 44. You really don't need that 0 at the end. I know a lot of people keep it there. That's fine. I'm not going to count it off if you do keep it there, but really we drop that 0 if it's at the very end. And that would make sense because this rounds to about 11. That rounds to about 4. 11 times 4 is 44. Okay. Jonathan is traveling for work. This morning, his GPS indicated that the total distance to his destination is 589 4/10 miles. Before lunch, he drove 208 62 miles. How much farther does he have to travel? So when you think about what operation you're going to use for this one, think about, well, we already know the total. So if we go into adding, then that's going to give us more than what our total is. If we try multiplication, that's just multiplying that same number over and over again. Wouldn't make sense. And division also would not make sense. The only one that makes sense when we compare, and that farther is our big word, is subtraction. The total number of miles has to go on top. And if you line up your decimals, you'll see that there is a space. If you don't, you'll think, oh, well, maybe I put the wrong one on top, and you switch it. That wouldn't make sense. You can't subtract 589 from 208 without getting a negative number. Now, you will have to add that 0 there. So we can't do 0 minus 2. We borrow and make it 10. I can't do 3 minus 6. Again, borrow, make it 13. Don't forget to bring down your decimal. 8 minus 8 is nothing. 8 minus 0 is 8. And 5 minus 2 is 3. Now, there is a way that you can check your work, and we've talked about this, by taking your answer and adding it to what you subtracted by. So I'm just going to do that out to the side to double check that my work is correct. And I got 589 and 40 hundredths or 4 tenths, and that is the exact same thing, which proves my answer is right. And the last one on this side, find the quotient. That just means divide, and they both look like mixed numbers. So the first thing I want to do is change them both to improper fractions. So that's 9 over 2, and that's 13 over 8. Notice I'm not trying to rush steps and do keep, change, flip. I'm just keeping it like it is. Now I can see which fractions I need. Keep, change. Now I can flip. I like to simplify early. It makes it a lot easier. I know a lot of you don't. So if you don't, you would get 72 over 26. If you do simplify early, you're going to get 36 over 13. In both cases, it's improper. So what you want to do is simplify with division. 72 divided by 26. It goes in there, let's see, 3 times. Let's see, 26 times 3. That'd be too big, so it'll only go in there twice. 26 times 2, 52. Okay, so far I have 2, I'm going to move it over here, 2 and 20 over 26, but you have to know that those can both be simplified because they are even. So I divide by 2 to get 2 and 10 over 13. And if you would have simplified using the simplified fraction that some of us like to use, you would have gotten that number immediately.